Alright, everybody, I'm gonna solve the web series and the show's timeline of DHMAS, and MadPat, do not give me a copyright for using your footage. Ragdoll, what are you doing? Yeah, Toadie, I thought you were at the store. I'm back! Now, here's Roy. This yellow guy's dad. He meets and most likely marries Leslie, obviously. Some point in the future, they marry. Now, I don't know when Roy and Leslie first meet, but it's most likely during high school or after college. This is where they most likely started doing. I'm just gonna say it's during high school, and here's where the stuff gets at. Now, after Roy and Leslie get married, Yellow Guy happens, and after 5 years later, Yellow Guy is introduced. Now, Red Guy was introduced after a desk job, and then Duck was introduced. Red Guy met Roy, and then they started the show with Yellow Guy, Duck, and Red Guy as the main characters. And here is where DHMAS web series begins. Now, here is the web show, and this is where the first episode begins. Episode 1 begins with Red Guy, Yellow Guy, and Duck learning about creativity. The teacher starts singing about its sketchbook. The teacher. Yellow Guy tries to paint a picture of a clown, but Sketchbook says it's uncreative, and all this craziness happens here. Episode 2 begins with Red Guy saying, "Come on, guys, stop mucking around." And Duck says, "That's not enough time." And then the teacher of the episode begins, Tony the Talking Clock. He starts singing about time. The puppets are very interested in time, but there's a twist at the end. Here is the aftermath of what happens. Then episode 2 ends. Oh yeah, I nearly forgot to mention Roy does this, and this is where Roy's first appearance in the series makes an appearance. Episode 3 begins with our three main characters on a picnic. Yellow Guy runs away and meets Shrigno after Duck kills a butterfly, teaches him about love. And Yellow Guy was trying to learn about love by a tree after Shrigno says, "Here's another way that I put it," and basically fails through it of Michael. And if you look at the background, you could see Sketchbook, Toy Clock, and Roy. And here's stuff. Yeah, Shrigno dies in real life after Duck swats him, and that's episode 3. Oh, and Shrigno tricked the Yellow Guy with using the special one. Episode 3 has the puppets playing a board game. Red Guy looks up the globe after picking up a card, saying what was the biggest thing on Earth. Calling the computer, Red Guy interrupts Red Guy and sings his song, distracts Yellow Guy and Duck with all sorts of stuff about digital style and other stuff. Red Guy breaks free, and yeah. The episode ends with Red Guy's head being exploded. Episode 5 begins with Duck and Yellow Guy without Red Guy, and we get introduced to 4 new teachers. The steak guy, the bread guy, the spinach can guy, the fridge. Ultimately, Duck was getting way too curious and off script, so they had to end him. Yellow Guy was forced to eat his own fallen companion, and if you look up, there's Roy. That's the end of episode 5 here, everybody. Alright, everybody, this part is very, very dark of the timeline. So here's a picture of my dog Kiddo before we get into it. Alright, the episode begins with Yellow Guy all by himself and ultimately starts singing. Well, actually, the lamp is. Here's the lamp. The talking lamp guy here talks to him about dreams and random stuff. He even drowns him in oil twice before we cut to a scene with Red Guy. And yeah, here's Red Guy. Now we get an origin story of what happened to Red Guy, even though I explained it already in the timeline. And this where Roy and Red Guy meet. Then Red Guy finds a machine. Then the clocks. Then this lamp switches to different teachers to teachers. First starting with Tony, and then ending with other teachers. And Duck even makes in a split camera saying, "Where am I?" and random stuff. And then a hand appears, and it's Roy, as you can tell by the picture that happens. And here's a picture of the hand with the machine of Red Guy. Red Guy is surprised too and pulls the plug, and the series gets a full reboot on YouTube. And this is where part 1 of part 6, well, actually not part 6, but part 2 ends of DHMIS. And in case that you were scared, here's a picture of Matter Dog. Now, part 2, where we cover the TV show, will be uploaded sometime eventually, so